Hi, I'm Jen,
Hi, I'm Erin.
and together we're Life Beyond the Scale.
We're so glad you're here. Our podcast is here to prove that life after 40 isn't about a slowdown. It's about a new chapter of strength, self-discovery, and style. We're so glad you're here with us.
Today we're going to share some things on a lighter note. We're going to dig into some new finds that we found. We've tried everything from a weighted vest to line dancing to even getting glowy. So let's dive in and see what made the cut.
So Jen, you get us started.
I tried a weighted vest. So we're going to show some photos of the weighted vest in case you've never seen one. Why did I try a weighted vest? Really, I don't like strength training. And so adding a weighted vest was going to kind of increase the intensity of my walks as well as give me some resistance training. So here's what I've kind of, I guess, my finds on it. My pros are that by adding the weight, I'm challenging my muscles, I'm boosting the calorie burn, my heart rate was up. Weighted vest and resistance training is going to improve your bone density, especially for us women in that perimenopause, premenopause, postmenopause state. And it's said to improve our posture and our core strength, both of things that I need. Right. Along the way, I would say my other pro, or maybe it's a con, could be the cost. I bought a weighted vest off of Facebook Marketplace instead of, buying it from a store. So that could be a negative or a positive. The positive was that I saved a lot of money. It only cost me $15. The negative was I didn't have a chance to try it on prior to buying. And of course, I couldn't return it. So I think that I bought a 12-pound vest and it's probably a little bit too heavy for me. So I do have to constantly kind of hold my shoulders back, make sure that I'm not like hunched down because it is extra heavy, but I'm able to do it. I might not be ready to do my longer walks wearing it, but I've been able to do a mile walk without any problems. Another pro is that mental, just I'm doing it. I feel stronger. And I used to weigh more than 12 pounds heavier, and I couldn't take that off at the end of the day. And so it's a nice little mental, like, hey, you've done this before and you used to weigh more. And that joint pain or that back pain was not something that I could just set aside after a walk. And so that makes me feel stronger and better. The other con would be that my weighted vest is just set at 12 pounds. You're going to spend a little bit more money, but you can actually take the weights out or add more in as you build up your strength. Yeah, so I think there are potential benefits that if you wanted to spend a little looking at your Facebook marketplace and the local garage sales was a great place for me to start. So overall, I'm going to give it a buy.
I love that you got creative. You wanted something and you found it in your price point.
But how many times have we bought exercise equipment and then it just sits in our basement or in our garage unused? So always look local before you spend the big bucks.
Our second find is a cooling blanket. I picked this up on Amazon. For any of us who are in perimenopause or menopause, we know that sometimes sleep can be elusive, especially when those hot flashes come in the middle of the night. Or in my case as well, I sleep next to a hot sleeper. In the winter, it's great. He's nice and warm and cozy. In the summertime, it's like having a fire right next to you when you're trying to sleep. I do like the cooling blanket, but I would say it's more like a sheet than a blanket. And the one drawback is that it's kind of slippery. So it slides around. And so I think if I were to do it all over again, they actually have sheet sets. This one was $49 for a queen blanket. And I saw that they have the sheet, the flat sheet, and the pillowcases for $89. And so if I were to do it all over again, I think I might do that instead. What this reminds me of, if you've ever woken up in the middle of the night and you flip your pillow over to the cool side, it's like that. When you pull it over you, you can feel the coolness.
So is it a buy or a buy?
I would spend a little extra and do the full sheet set. I also saw, and somebody had shared with me before, bamboo sheets are supposed to be a
Mhm.
game changer as far as coolness and comfort for sleeping. So maybe I might say this one is a buy.
We know how good sleep affects the rest of our day and it impacts our healthy choices. So if it's worth spending a little bit of money but getting a good night's sleep by being cool at night, might be worth considering.
So number 3, we're talking about green powder. So tell us a little bit more about that, Jen.
Yes. So the greens powder that I tried was it's called Kiala. So here's my honest review. I wanted to try greens because they claim to be helpful with your gut health and reduce bloating and to fill in the nutritional gaps that our diet isn't doing, right? So, of course, we should all be eating our fiber and our fruits and vegetables. But if not, here's this powder that claims to support and fill in those gaps, right? So I'm about 20 days in. Each canister holds 30 days worth or 30 scoops, so about a month's supply. I spent $34 roughly on Amazon. Um, I'm drinking it now. I did add some more ice. I did show you a quick little video to show that it's very convenient and how easy it is to prepare and kind of take on the go. Here's my cons on the greens or this brand of greens. Powdered greens are not replacing our nutrients fully, and it's really hard to tell like how many servings of vegetables can I say that I had based on a scoop of powder, right?
Sure.
But right, it does help. This particular brand is soy free, vegan free, dairy free, and gluten free. It's a vegan product. Um, and it does contain some tree nuts. So if you do have tree nut allergies, you'd probably need to watch out for that. And it's sweetened with Splenda that probably helped reduce some of the chalky, earthy flavoring that a lot of greens have. So this particular brand, I chose the watermelon slush flavor. I don't know that it's super watermelony, but it is not chalky and it is not earthy. And I think we've both tried some of those greens in the past, right? That
Yes.
weren't
Yes.
so great. This particular canister of greens has everything in it from turmeric to spinach to Brussels sprouts. And so, for those nutritional values and benefits and vitamins, I thought that that was a nice positive and another just pro to having the greens. So, I'm not quite ready to say yay or nay yet. I think I'm going to finish out the month and maybe give it a second month. Sometimes, when it comes to supplements, it's really hard to say, do I feel less bloating? Do I feel more energy? There is some caffeine from a natural green tea extract. So I think that that's another benefit for me to just have something that would give me a little boost in the morning since I'm not a coffee drinker. But maybe I'll come back in another 30 to 60 days and let you know if this is a buy or a buy.
At this time of year, many of us are going on vacations, going places when our routines are being disrupted. So I think the convenience of being able to travel with that, just add water and take one of those little mixer things with you on the road. When we're traveling, we're not always making the best food
Right.
choices. So at least that would help to supplement the burgers and
Mhm.
fries you had the night before and the cocktails.
Kiala is third party tested. And so they actually are looking to make sure that they are FDA approved for purity. So there's not any added heavy metals or other toxins or parabens that maybe a non tested vitamin or supplement would have. So
On our list, vitamin shots. I attend a wellness center. I began weekly getting the vitamin shots, and I did the biotin and the tri-immunity shots, and I did them on a weekly basis, and I did them from November all the way solid every week, through till May. What I can tell you about that is during that time period, I was around people, coworkers, family, COVID, flu, colds, coughs, you name it. I didn't get sick. I would say, yes, it is a very pricey thing to do. However, lost wages, lost time, lost, being able to keep up with life in general. And honestly, I felt energized. I felt really, really good. And so I also did the biotin shot, which is good for your hair, nails, and skin. These are all administered by nurses. But if you have liver or kidney issues, those shots are not really good for anybody who is suffering from any of those particular things. The vitamin shots are quick and easy way to introduce vitamins and minerals directly into the bloodstream, because for the
Mhm.
longest time I was taking biotin as a supplement, but these are injected directly into the muscle for rapid increased absorption and utilization. So they go and they give you a shot right above the little buttocks there in the little fatty spot. Doesn't hurt, just a little pinch. I feel like for me, it was a very positive thing. The cost on it, the biotin, I want to say was 30 and the triimmunity was 40.
And when it comes to the cost of our health, we're often paying it at one end or the other. We're going to pay it up front to prevent, or you're going to pay it after the fact, after you're ill and doctor visits, lost wages, medicine. They're administered by nurses that are following a doctor's protocol, and but also make sure that if you're not local to our area, that you find a wellness center that has some type of or some protocols in place to make sure that this is the best thing for you, or reach out to your own healthcare provider before seeking outside care.
We have number 5 on our list, line dancing. Tell us about the
Yes.
line dancing, Jen.
Well, you're going to see the little clip of a video of some of my recent line dancing and the very confused, concentrated look on my face as I'm trying to master some of these steps.
Just a quick snap of Jen dancing.
But why we went line dancing was it was just a girls' night out. None of us were dancers. None of us had gone before. We had no idea what to expect. But how often, especially during the summer, are we getting together to socialize and it's around food? So we wanted to do something fun that would bring us together, but wasn't food focused. They have a beginner class from 6 to 8 p.m. And so there was an instructor that taught the dances and led the dances and then allowed us to kind of, do the whole thing to music live. There's a little stumbling, a lot of stumbling around involved, a lot of spinning the wrong direction and, having two left feet. Say the cons are that it was something new and that's always hard to try, kind of stepping out of your comfort zone. It was a little scary not being a dancer. I didn't grow up taking dance classes, and so the lingo and the terminology was definitely outside of my comfort zone. The pros are we laughed a lot. It was a workout. I was sweating up a storm. Like note to self, bring some extra deodorant or something. Yeah, because I was like, wow, I did not imagine that we would be working so hard. The other thing that was a positive is just that it was kind of fun. Well, it was definitely fun, but the proud of ourselves moment and all of the other dancers who have been coming a little bit more regularly, we stood out probably like sore thumbs. But everyone was so friendly and nobody made fun of us. Everybody on their way out was like, good job, ladies. I hope you come back again. So really encouraging, really fun, easy night to meet new people, to not focus on food. The beginning class is $10 a person, but the other positive to that is there's no commitment, right? And so to try something new without having to get locked into, an 8-week course or to commit to driving or going on a regular basis, it was a great night and I'm glad that I went. So check out your
Oh,
local listings or your YMCA's or local businesses in your area and see if there's some new beginning class that you can try. Definitely a buy and do it again.
our sixth and final, the Bondi Sands Self Tanning 1 Hour Express Foam. And then I'm also sharing the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I have found this to be for my face, and this is for my body. And then the mitt. The mitt is the game changer. Okay, so 2 pumps onto the microfiber mitt cover one calf quite nicely. The brown mousse is easier to apply because you're able to see where it's going. And it takes about an hour for the color to develop. And sometimes I do a second coat just in case. Tried some others in the past, and I found that I wasn't very good at the application. It was very streaky and hard to put on, and I didn't really care for that. But this one with the mitt is a big game changer. And I usually use this about 2 to 3 times a week in the summertime when I'm wearing dresses and a lot of shorts, and I like my legs are exposed. I'm very pale. I have a lot of bumps and bruises and scratches from my dogs and doing a lot of gardening. I wouldn't say that they disappear, but I just feel like the lotion gives my skin a glow, and it makes me feel more confident in my clothes and makes me feel like I do that and then I don't think twice about it. I just get on with my day. It is very dark for somebody as fair skinned as I am. However, it gives the most beautiful glow and makes your skin very effervescent almost. These are my two tried and true, and they are 2 thumbs up. Buy, buy, buy.
Tanning products aren't necessarily sunblock, right? Like you're still using an
Right.
SPF, but at least you're
Yes.
getting that look of having the sun without the damaging effects of the sun.
I use a lot of SPF because I'm Irish and my skin, I just burn out in the sun. I use my SPF in the morning and then I put my lotion on and it gives me a nice glow and I just feel more confident. Need to protect your skin. It is the biggest I think I think it's your
Biggest
biggest
organ.
organ. It's your
Absolutely.
biggest organ and we just kind of take it for granted. So it's something that needs to be protected and cared for. Well, thank you. This was a little bit of a departure from our last two videos, but we know that style and feeling confident and finding products that give us all the qualities that we need are super important. So we hope that you enjoyed this. Call to action, if you have stayed this long, if you could give us a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe. In the show notes, you'll be able to find the links to the items that we mentioned today. There's also going to be a link to Jen's coaching page. So if you're interested in any of that, we hope that you'll click on that. And we are so happy you were here with us today.
Yeah, can't wait to see you next week. Thanks for joining us.